Let's go.
Let's go. What the?
Who's outside?
The mic ain't working. It is.
I got the other speaker.
Let's
Is it working?
get it.
I did push it. I did push it.
We
I
need
didn't
a
push
new
it
sound
again.
guy. I told you we need a new sound guy, bro. Told you, bro. We about to get a new sound
I
guy
didn't push it
today.
again.
I think you should get one.
We got one interviewing at 2:30 today, bro.
Probably got it. Where's the microphone? They're right there.
You should work.
Boom.
Look sharp.
Thank you, bro.
All right, good morning. It's Monday. Most jobs you would hate Monday, but here we go. So, today we're talking about the importance of understanding and why you should seek to understand before seeking to be understood, and how this helps all your different relationships, whether it's professional in your business, work, with your customers, with your co-workers, friends, family, everybody. What is the importance of understanding and listening? And then Junior, kick it off with the definition.
All right, so I literally just looked up understand on Google, and it says to interpret or view something in a particular way. Or it says to perceive the intended meaning of words or a language or a speaker.
So basically, assumptions, right? Assumptions are different from understanding. Assumptions assuming what you think the other person is thinking and what they're perceiving. Understanding is actually perceiving what the other person is saying or thinking. And that takes time, that takes effort, and takes empathy. You have to listen with empathy to try and listen to that person's emotions, to the content that they are saying, to their feelings, to how they're responding to how you're talking with them. And when you're doing empathetic listening, you don't have to practice that at all times, because otherwise it'll come off weird, you'll come off pushy. It seems like you're being pushing your own vision, your own autobiography on them. Empathetic listening is only needed at certain times, during those important conversations, maybe with a kid who's like, I don't want to go to school anymore, or with a coworker like, man, I'm struggling. And you got to listen with empathy at those times. You don't want to, there's 4 different types of listening. There is where most people, when they listen, they fake listen, where they're like, yeah, we've all had conversations like that. Ignore listening, where they're literally not even paying attention to what you're saying. They're just there, hearing what you're saying. Then there is selective listening, where you're listening to parts of what the person is saying and only taking out the parts that you want to hear. That's selective listening. There's also attentive listening, where you're almost repeat back everything that person says to you to show that you're at least paying attention. But empathetic listening is where you're listening to their emotion and to their content and respond that way. Like, man, school's for the birds. I don't want to go to school anymore. Oh, most parents, how they would respond is, what do you mean? School's important for you. Instead of listening to their kid and saying something along the lines of, oh, you don't want to go? Oh, school's frustrating? What's wrong? And just respond with love and empathy. And that's not easy to do, it's our human nature to try and make others listen to us and not be the one listening. There's 4 main types of communication in this world. There's reading, there's writing, there's speaking, and there's listening. The thing that we practice least is listening. Everybody wants to be the speaker, everybody wants to be heard, everybody wants to be the person saying everything in the room, being that 80%. And if you notice that you're doing 80% of the talking in a conversation, maybe you need to listen more. Maybe practice a day of being quiet and listen to others and what they're saying. Maybe even plug your ears and just practice listening to emotion. 90% of what you communicate is through your body language and how you say it. So things like pace, speed, rhythm, emphasis, tone, all these different things, all this emotion, all these different things that can be used in communication. 10% of it is words. It's not what you're saying, it's how you say it. That is the importance of communication. And so when you're listening to someone, or maybe you're in a room during a meeting or something, practice listening. Practice perceiving emotion and things like that. Plug your ears and just pay attention to everybody's body language and how they're receiving the message, and perceive what you think that they're responding, and just seek first to understand, because that's what causes a lot of miscommunications. And you know what miscommunications cause? Debates, arguments, quarrels, all sorts of bad things. So when there's those miscommunications, those misunderstandings, this can cause problems. That's why you need to be the better person sometimes and seek first to understand the other person, and then explain your point of view and how you think and how you feel. Yeah. Just point it. No, it's already pressed.
Okay, so something I looked up when I was researching the importance of understanding. There's a lot of different answers. But this is one I liked. Understanding is crucial for a variety of reasons. It allows us to make sense of the world around us, to solve problems, and to make informed decisions. It also allows us to understand where other people are coming from and what their needs are. Why they act the way they act, if something's going on, and all that.
Right on.
Good job, Layla.
Good job. That's really good.
Layla gets up here. She don't like talking in front of people. But thank you, Layla.
Thank you.
And understand. Also, what we need to remember when it comes to understanding is it ultimately helps you become a better person. Like, I'm still learning to be understanding. But one thing I do when I'm out doing these phones, I just listen to people. Because as soon as you tell them, oh, I got the phones, that's all you need to say. And then they saying everything else. I'm just sitting there like, oh, yeah, you say your girl, go get your girl too. Like, I haven't said nothing. He's like, oh, he got the phones, man. I'm going to go get my girl. My girl needs one. My brother. Like, I'm just sitting there listening while I'm putting the sign up. And once I put the sign up, it's over. I've retracted all of this info, and now I'm about to spit it out back to you guys. I just sit there and listen a lot. So, and I learned that with my kids also. They teach me a lot. Like, I got to be listening to them. My wife's like, stop yelling. Just listen. So now I'm just like, all right. And we have a much better relationship. It makes you a better person trying to be more understanding. Like listening, and instead of being confrontational, you want to be the one to have that open ear. Like, okay, what is it? Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Not the one to hold a grudge or to kind of always be like holding on to something. You want to be understanding with people. And that's how you'll get far in life.
Right on. And then something to add on to what Leela was talking about, it's like walk a day in their shoes. Try and see what it's like from their perspective. Try and see where they're coming from. And then you'll have a better understanding. Like a good parent, when their two kids are having a fight, one kid will come up and tattle, right? And try and tell their story and convince the parent that, hey, believe me, they're wrong. They did the bad thing. They hurt me. When in reality, the kid that just tattled was the one that hit first. And a good parent, what they would do is before they take sides, they listen to the other side. They listen to the other kid. What happened from your perspective? And then they seek to understand. And first, that parent will try and let the kids fix that problem themselves. That's what a good parent would do, right? You want to create problem solvers. You can't fix every problem your kid will have. Otherwise, they'll rely on you. When they get older, that is the importance of walking a day in someone else's shoes.
Right.
And a good salesman, to add on to what Bob was saying, is a good salesman will find a problem that the person or customer is struggling with. For instance, like pest control. When I did door-to-door pest control, when you're walking up to the door, You're looking for spider webs, ant hills, ant mounds, signs of pests before they even open the door, and be like, hey, how you doing? I saw that Bills jersey you have in the window. You a Bills fan? Just chat it up. Let them open up. Try and see what kind of person you're talking with. Whether it's at the tent or when you're doing door to door, see who you're talking with. Try and understand what kind of person they are, what interests them. Are they business oriented? If they're business oriented, quit the small talk and get straight to the point. But if they like the small talk and they want to talk with you, because guess what? Sometimes when you're doing door to door, they've been home alone all day. We're social creatures. We like to talk sometimes, and just listen to them. Some people want someone to talk to during the day, and they don't always have that. So a good salesman will sometimes literally just talk with them. They won't waste time. They won't waste time, but they will talk with that person and meet their needs. A good salesman creates and meets needs. They find problems and offer a solution. So when you're doing door to door, like, oh, I got the free phones, maybe just be like, hey, you got access or EBT? And they say, or both. And they're like, oh, I got access. Oh, I got food stamps. Oh, I got both. You already know they're low income. You already know they qualify. You already know they need this. You already know that they should sign up for this. So you just got to do the sales aspect of being like, okay, now let's solve that solution. Instead of being like, oh, you're cheap. You got access or EBT. Get this free phone. Be a little more like, here, let me help you out. You qualify for this program because you have access or food stamps. Let me help you out. You pay taxes, right? Perfect. I'm already giving back what you already paid for. So that it just help open them up. Most salespeople or salesmen are just offering a product or just selling a solution without even like creating the need or meeting the need for that customer.
And John don't have kids yet, so John don't understand the meaning when two kids are arguing and you as a parent have to understand it. It ain't that easy.
It ain't
And John will know, he knows.
Yeah. So, and it takes a lot of maturity to do this. Maturity is a combination of consideration and confidence. You got to be mature, you have to be considerate of others, considerate of yourself, and to seek to understand others and then be understood takes confidence. It takes that consideration to go out of your way to listen to that other person, and it takes confidence to then project how you feel, how you think.